We are here at the Colts practice facility where the team is finally starting to feel it a little bit more. We are just 4 days away from opening kickoff of the 2025 season, where the Colts will be taking on the Miami Dolphins Sunday at 1 o'clock, where, of course, you have Daniel Jones named the starter a couple of weeks ago and then named the captain from his teammates just last week. Now, heading into this, there's going to be a lot of question marks throughout, leading up to kickoff, leading to throughout the game. You want to see Shane Stichen in his third season as head coach, see if he has all the weapons that he wants offensively to make Daniel Jones and the offense, of course, an ultimate success piece. On the other side, the guys that they're lining up against, the Miami Dolphins, their reputation has been upheld over the last few seasons despite some injuries. They have playmakers. They have Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane, who can blow the top off of the defense at any given point. These are all things that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Can the Colts defense under Lou Anarumo stop those big plays that Miami is prone to making when healthy? And then how explosive can the Colts offense be, while also maybe not getting too carried away with Daniel Jones just making the smart decisions, and also maybe just finding those big plays during certain parts of the contest. We're going to figure all of that out. And on Wednesday, Shane Stichen spoke with the media, and we got into the locker room where we caught up with Daniel Jones and some other players as well.
All right, I'll start off. Obviously, super excited to kick week one off at home against the Dolphins. I know it's going to be an electric atmosphere in there with our fans, and honoring Mr. Irsay in the Ring of Honor is going to be special. So honor him this season, put in the work, the preparation, have a great week of practice, and excited. I know our guys are excited, for this opportunity come Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Shane, I know you talked about it before, but Jim Irsay giving you your first opportunity to be a head coach in the NFL. What does that mean to you?
The word that comes to mind when I think about it is just gratitude, just thankful. You know what I mean? Anytime, you're in this league, you never take it for granted. It's a blessing to be a part of this thing, and for him to, give me the opportunity to be here. And not only me, but every single person that's in this building says a lot about, who he is. Just like you always talk about the generosity and the person he is and how he treated people the right way consistently. And it's always pulling and had everyone's back. So to honor him this season will be big for us.
Do you do something to acknowledge? I mean, you guys are playing Dolphins. You have to worry about Dolphins. Do you do something to acknowledge the Ring of Honor? And obviously, the teams aren't just through everything.
Yeah, we have some stuff that you guys will see here coming out. But, yeah, definitely. We're going to honor them with a whole bunch of different things this year for sure.
This year, your third year as a play caller, do you feel any differently entering this year? Like, do you feel like things more open for you? What was this one?
Yeah, I think with anything as a play caller, obviously you try to attack the defense any way you can and put our guys in position to make plays. And obviously having a feel for the game, I think, is a big part of play calling, when to call certain things from a down and distance standpoint, run, pass. Obviously, we have tendencies as play callers, just like defensive coordinators have tendencies. So, you obviously you want to try and hit it at the right time on certain things, but feel really confident in our guys' abilities to go make plays. And obviously, it's our job to put those guys in position to go make those plays.
When you don't have film on the Dolphins defense this year, how big is that challenge building a game plan and figuring out where to attack and everything?
Well, I think schematically, looking at their defense, I think they do a good job. I got a lot of respect for their D coordinator and what he's done there. And obviously him being in Baltimore, I think he does a good job of mixing things up on the back end. They got good rushers. Obviously they signed Judon. Chubb's been there, good rusher. Phillips, I know he's had some injuries, but when he's healthy, he's going pretty good. And Chop Robinson's a hell of a player too. And then inside, obviously with Seiler, he's a veteran player that's really good, and Jones, and they got Grant, from Michigan. So that D-line's really solid, so we got to do a good job of controlling the line of scrimmage. But from a schematic standpoint, obviously, him being there, with his scheme and how he does things, it's really just like the personnel, some of those guys coming back.
Shane, as a head coach, not just a play
Yeah.
caller, where do you feel like you need to grow coming into year 3?
I think just everything, like you learn as you go, right? So, some things you learn and you want to tweak, just like even this morning in the team meeting, just being more precise on how we're going to win the game. I always talk about how to win the game, but it's like, hey, here are the main things, right? You can have like 6 or 7 things, but here are the 3 things that we need to do on offense and defense and special teams to win the game. And be very clear and direct in that. And like I said, the messaging's got to be on point every single week on how we need to win the game and continue to be a leader, right? I always talk about leadership. It's an inspire, empower, and guide. And that's my job as a head coach.
And what are those 3 things you got to do on offense?
You know I'm not going to tell you that because I'm telling the Dolphins.
Big opportunity for Daniel QB1 for you guys. What do you hope to see for your quarterback?
You know, with him, I'm excited for his opportunity. Stay steady, find completions, keep us on track. You know what I mean? And at that position, that's what it is. It's finding completions, moving the football, and not making bad plays worse. And I talked about the operation, feel very confident in his operation at the line of scrimmage, getting us in and out of the right plays. And I know the team feels confident in that as well.
What sticks out to you about the way he sees football?
That's good. I think from a cerebral standpoint, just talking to him, when you talk to him in the meeting rooms, when you talk to him on the practice field, he sees things, and there's always little side discussions like, hey, if I see this, hey, I might get to this because there's no one covering that guy. You know what I mean? And obviously that comes with experience, and but those conversations that I've had with him and that he's had with his teammates have been really solid, so I think that's going to pay dividends for us.
You talk a lot about the pre-snap stuff, the operational stuff, just post-snap, playing the actual game, throwing the ball. What stands out to you about his ability to make those kinds of
Yeah, I think obviously you got to see, you know, the defense, the shell coverage, how they're rotating, all those different things, and that comes with a lot of film study that he puts in. So I think seeing the rotation, you know, middle field closed, middle field open, seeing how the defense is playing it, and then you go from there, and then you make your throws off this. Obviously, you have your reads, but you got to have a little feel to it too on, you know, how guys are playing, whether they're playing tight coverage man or spot drop zone, all those different things. You know, you got to have a good feel for that.
Shane, it's a week-to-week league. We always talk about that. But is there any symbolism to winning week one? Like, is that a tone setter at all? Or
Yeah, I think so. I think it's big. You know, we obviously want to win week one. Obviously, we want to, you know, break that streak that we've had here for a long time. So I think it's important for all teams to start off 1-0. And I just told the guys, too, start fast and finish strong. I talked about creating an edge, and, you know, we got to play with an edge, you know, come Sunday.
When you say stay on track or keep us on track with Daniel, what kind of altered your thinking of like, all right, it's not just going to be the home run hitter, quarterback, self-created, it's going to be more of a methodical, keep us on track?
Yeah, I think with that is just like when I think about keeping on track, it's like, hey, you know, it could be, you know, whatever 1st and 10, and we have a shot called and it's not there, and he gets it, you know, do a check down or whatever, and gets us to 2nd and 2 instead of being in 2nd and 10 in those passing situations. So that's keeping us on track, finding those easy completions too. Yeah. Yeah, great. He throws a great touch, anticipation. Seen that through training camp. Obviously, seen it the last couple of weeks since we've been back here. Like I said, he finds completions, and I think that's a big part of this thing. Is, you know, knowing how to throw it, when to throw it, and where to throw it. And I think he's done a really nice job of that.
When does that quarterback find completion better than Tua on the other side of the ball? What do you have to do to limit what they do? Just kind of how do they work with all that?
Yeah, no question. I think obviously it starts, you know, the quarterback does a great job of getting the ball out of his hands very quick. He throws the spots, and Waddle and Tyreek are really good players. So obviously having a plan for those guys, and the running back's a good player. I think they do a good job with a lot of the things they do on offense. So we just got to be on our P's and Q's with all the stuff that they do and make sure we're detail-oriented going into this game.
How big will it be for Borderlands development to have Daniel specifically as the quarterback?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. Obviously, there could be good communication between those two guys, which I've seen obviously through training camp and just how they talk about protections and certain things and getting to the right calls and the right checks. So I think it'll be good for Bort.
How do you evaluate Daniel as a runner? I know we talk a lot about his passing, which is obviously important, but there's another element too. When I'm reminded that when he's had success in the league.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think he's a sneaky runner. I think sometimes, obviously, you know, when he was in New York, you know, some of those zone read things he did were very beneficial for him, and I think there's a time and a place for that, you know, when the opportunity presents itself. But I think he does a good job and knowing, you know, when to pull it and whatever that may be within the scheme. But I think, like I said, I think he's averaged like 4.6 yards a carry in his career, so he can run the football, and that's another element to it.
This team, how big is it?
Yeah, I think it's important. It always, you know, first game of the season, and you want to get off to a good start. I think, you know, important. I think you put a lot of preparation and time into this. You know, we've had a long training camp, made a lot of progress, and you're eager to get out there for the first game.
Daniel, what stands out about Miami on film?
I think they got a good front. I think when you look at that, there's a lot of impact players there up front, and I think we have a strong front up front, so I think that is a good matchup for us. But a lot of good players, and we'll study them, be ready for it. Good players in the back end too, smart guys who can make plays. But I think we'll continue to study it and develop our game plan through this week.
Would it be an advantage for you guys, the fact that you do have a lot of weapons on the outside, JT, Tyler as well? Does it kind of make it difficult for the defense to concentrate on and target one guy maybe?
I think so, yeah. I think, I feel like that's been, we've seen that during training camp too, just how many different guys we can get the ball to and can hurt the defense in different ways. I think that makes it tough for a defense to game plan and take one guy away. I think we got, a lot of guys who are dangerous.
You've been building towards this for months now. What excites you about just having that, official new start, new chapter come Sunday?
Just excited to get out there. I think we all are. A lot of work's gone into this as a group, since, dating back in the spring when we got together for OTAs, and I feel like we've come a long way. So I think we're all really excited to get out there.
Yeah, what excites you about the guys around you, the offense you have, the weapons around you as a quarterback?
I think, like I said, I think just how many different guys with different skill sets, different strengths, abilities, we have, and how hard that is for a defense to plan for and account for everybody. So I'm excited to get out there and play with these guys. I think, playing with the guys up front, how well they've played all camp and how strong that group is. I think it'll be a fun group to be part of.
This group has talked about having a sense of urgency, and Shane talked a whole lot about creating that edge through training camp. What does that look like for you guys going into week one?
Yeah, I think just on offense, having an attacking mindset and playing at our tempo, at our pace, taking advantage of the opportunities we have in the pass game, and then up front in the run game, doing the same thing. So I think it's just that, playing with an edge, but having an attacking mindset, being aggressive when we have chances to be aggressive.
Daniel, when Shane talks about you and why you got the job and just what he expects out of you, one phrase he uses quite a bit is he finds the completions. I'm guessing he said those words to you, but either way, what does that phrase mean to you? You find completions.
I think understanding where the ball needs to go versus certain looks, certain coverages. I think staying on schedule, keeping the generating positive plays, keeping the offense moving forward, sustaining drives. I think all those things. Obviously, you want to be ready when the shot's there, and when you have the big play, take advantage of it. But understand when it's not. Not holding the ball, getting it out, and letting guys catch and run when we have those chances too.
Daniel, how do you think you've earned the trust of your teammates, and how can you build on that by just simply playing with this one?
Yeah, I think just showing up and coming to work every day, trying to improve and growing my understanding of the offense and build chemistry with guys. I think you're always developing that chemistry and that trust with guys, and nothing's more important than what you do on the field on Sundays. So, continue to focus on that and excited to get out there with these guys.
You focus almost entirely on team and what the team can do and all this. Have you resisted the urge about you and what this could mean for you going forward? Is that just how you're wired?
I think, I think you realize that when a team's successful and we win and we play well on offense, I think it's good for everybody. I think if everyone has that mindset, I think that's something that Shane preaches, is having that team mindset. But, understanding if we're successful as a team, that certainly is good for everybody. But certainly the team first, and in this league, it's about winning, and that's where, all of our heads are at.
Have you gotten to meet Xavier Howard over the years, and how much maybe did you hate that?
Yeah, he's a really good player, smart. I think, when you see those corners play for a long time and have successful careers, they're obviously physically gifted, but they're really smart football players. They recognize routes, they recognize splits and concepts, whatever it is, and he's one of those guys that can read those things and anticipate it, and it's been fun going up against him in practice. I think Mooney's the same way, just having smart DBs who are obviously physically gifted, but are can make plays based off of what they recognize and anticipate certain things.
Daniel, you used the word chemistry. Just how important is it to be on the same page with your center, just making sure you guys are kind of seeing the same thing out there?
Yeah, I think a lot of that happens throughout the week and how we prepare. I think Tony does a really good job preparing all of us, especially the guys up front for what looks we're going to get defensively, pressures and fronts and all that stuff. So Tanner does a really good job recognizing that stuff, getting us into the right and the right calls, and I think we'll communicate throughout the week on what are the problem looks, what are the things we're going to have to make adjustments to. But it's been fun working with him throughout camp.
Daniel, have you thought at all about how great an opportunity this is to kind of resurrect your own career moving forward?
Yeah, I'm excited to get out there. I think, like I said, quarterbacks are judged by winning. I think teams are judged by winning games. So that's what I'm focused on, and I think we have a group of guys who are all kind of focused the same way. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get out there, and I know we've put in a lot of work, and I know we're all excited to get out there.
We don't want to make it more than what it is. I mean, if that's the history of the season opener, so be it. But our job is to go out and win the game. So it's not for the stat. It's not for the historical moment. We just want to get the job done.
It is an important day. I know you guys are honoring your late owner, Jim Irsay. Give me your thoughts on just how special will it be for yourself and your teammates and these Colts fans as you recognize an owner that did so much for not just for this team, but the city as well.
I just think, everything that he was represented by, his legacy, you want to be that same guy. So you want to do a lot of things for other people. You want to have a big heart, and there's no better person to, be that example. So we just want to take those characteristics, those kind of gifts, and give those other people as we do off the field.
Kenny, you've talked about the turnover with this group, particularly within your guys. Do you guys feel familiar with each other now, or is there still a getting comfortable with process going on here?
I mean, every day really counts. Every day at practice counts. Every day in the meeting room. We're still getting used to each other. And we had a lot of time together in the spring and training camp, so we should be good. Yeah, I don't think it's really that deep. We're just gonna go out there and play football. We all love football. We love taking the ball away, and that's the objective.
How excited are you about this team? I mean, we know the deal, trying to get into playoffs this year, but hearing from Shane, he talks about a lot of talent on this team. But how excited are you, being a veteran player with the guys around you?
I think that personally, this is the happiest I've been in a long time. So I think that should tell you everything you need to know. I'm really happy about being here in Indy still, and I'm looking forward to going out there with the guys.
What are you seeing about the guys as far as your teammates? Like in practice, what sticks out about what you're seeing daily, with this team?
It's the daily intent. Everybody ready to work. Everybody want to stay out there and get some work in. We've already been talking about getting extra film in on Wednesday, so I think it's just the intent of what we want to see, what we want to bring together.
Kenny, we know Miami has made a reputation to have explosive plays, especially over the years when they're healthy. What are some of the key traits in order to stop an offense that can have explosive plays at any moment?
Don't be distracted by all the motions and gimmicks that it'll give you. Stay on top. Just stay poised. We got to play our defense, and from there, just got to have fun.
Your position group in particular.
There's a bunch of new guys. I say, we end up bonding and working together and getting stuff done. So I feel like on film, like it's a group of guys that feel like the sky's the limit for us. So we out here every day want to compete and ready for the matchup that come upon us.
Is there still some of that filling out process?
Yeah, we still filling out. We still got to learn each other. And I feel like that's through the season. You feel like when we thrown in the fire, we out there competing, and we all got to know what we like to do. And that's how I feel like that's how football just works.
I apologize for being asked this already, but you've been in the league and you played a long time, but the excitement of playing again, how does that feel, just having an opportunity, knowing it's days away versus last year you might not know when the next game is coming?
Facts, man. And I'm 2 weeks in, man. I've been excited, to put on this uniform and go out there and compete and show the guys what I can do, And the excitement, I feel like you can't really just describe it, man. It's just coming out of the tunnel, man. And like I said, I've been on the couch about a year and a half, so just get the opportunity to put on the jersey and go out there and compete is everything for me.
Season opener since 2013. Give me the sense of urgency among yourself and these other leaders on here to try to find a way to win here.
Yeah, I don't think that matters too much. We're not playing against history. That's one big thing that I've seen in the past. We focus on the fact that we haven't done whatever in the past. It's like that has nothing to do with this season. There's a lot of different players that maybe not even been here. So in our mindset, it's just we want to win. Especially when the first game, start the season off right. But more than anything, we want to win every single game. So whatever the history says, yeah, that's a cool stat, whatever. But we want to be able to win the game. That's really what we're excited about coming into this game. We want to go play it and play it well and end up winning.
Obviously, it is a long season, but how important is it to kind of get things started off on the right foot by getting a victory in said week one, just to kind of springboard you?
Yeah, I think that's super important. Just starting off hot and knowing, momentum is a real thing in football, especially in the NFL. But really winning any game is a plus, and that springboards you to win the next game because you know how to win. So I think especially winning the first game, that just gets the fans excited, obviously, but even more so for the players. Winning any game is going to really light a fire under us to win more. I think that's one of the most inspiring things. When you win a game, you kind of get addicted to that feeling of winning, and then you just, it turns into a culture of winning where everybody knows how to win and knows why we win, and we continue to play like that, and it turns into a lot of wins over the year.
You got a good test coming in on Sunday with their quarterback, their wide receivers. Give me your thoughts as a defensive back here. You guys have an opportunity to go up against a good offense already in week one.
Yeah, this is what we live for, being able to compete against guys like this, knowing that especially their receivers, they got a lot of speed, a lot of guys that are top in the league, and a solid quarterback too. Just knowing that we're going to get their best and they're going to get our best too, but we're excited to be able to go out there and compete against a high-caliber group like that.
You've had a little taste of it in the preseason with Lucas Oil Stadium, but for you personally, first time here this year with the Colts, what are you looking forward to as far as these fans here on Sunday?
I'm excited to see the energy. Preseason, you can't really judge any stadium off the preseason, especially it being my first real game here coming up this week. So I'm just super excited to be able to see the stadium. I've never played in this stadium. So my first time inside the stadium was actually for the preseason game. So I'm excited to see what it's like. But I've heard a lot of good things, so I know the fans are going to be loud and it's going to be jumping.
You said that these are games that you get ready for in terms of going against playmakers that Miami has. I guess overall, obviously you can't give away the whole thing, but what are some of the key traits that you need to do to eliminate, those big-time plays that they can't produce?
Yeah, really knowing how they use their players. Obviously, they have a lot of speed, but we have to know how they use that specific player that has the speed. For all of them, they're known for having a fast offense and guys that are really good in open space, so you got to close the space on them. It's kind of simple as far as game planning is knock the timing off, don't let the quarterback get easy passes to their playmakers, and disrupt the quarterback to not let them get the ball in the hands of their playmakers and know who they're going to try to use to attack the defense.
And is it just to get things started off on the right foot to kind of springboard some momentum to get things going?
Yeah, I think it's real important. It's kind of what we've been working for through all these, camps and OTAs and stuff like that. So start off strong is really important, and that's kind of, the goal.
Looking at it from an offensive perspective, you see Miami over the last few years, the playmaking ability that they have when they're healthy. As an offensive guy, do you feel comfortable that if it happens to get into something where you guys need to make plays yourselves to, keep the pace, if they happen to set that, do you feel pretty good with doing that?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of our jobs as offensive players, right, is to score points. So that's going to be our focus every week, right? Score more points than the other team, and that's what our jobs are.
How forward are you looking to just starting your career in front of the home crowd? Can't imagine a better spot.
Yeah, it's exciting. I'm just excited to, really play with the team and to be about the team and our one goal together to get the win. So it's exciting. I'm ready to, play football.
And Daniel Jones, I know we talked about him last week, but was he just sort of meant to the offense over the last couple of weeks here after being named QB1?
Yeah, I think just having that steady flow of reps, with the ones and all that stuff. But he's been great, all this whole time he's been here, and I'm excited to go out there and play with him.
All right, so there we are, hearing from the team of the Colts on, again, another beautiful day of practice here at on this Wednesday, now just a few days ahead of the season opener against the Dolphins, joined now by Jake Arthur with LockedOn Colts. And I guess we'll just start short and simple with this. Daniel Jones, spoke with him for the first time in a little over a week here. Just some of your thoughts on maybe some of his mental preparation heading in as the QB1 for the Colts.
Yeah, we are finally done talking about the competition. Like, what it's going to be is what it's going to be. It's Daniel Jones preparing as the leader of this entire team now. He's been named a captain by his peers. He's getting the chemistry and these extra reps in with these guys. He doesn't have to split things anymore. I mean, I think as far as things go and getting that chemistry down, you've got him and Tanner Bortolini together. It's honestly probably pretty big for Bortolini to have a veteran quarterback behind him kind of helping guide the way a little bit. But, it's good to not have this big will they, won't they, who is it type of thing at this point. So the redemption arc of Daniel Jones, I guess, starts now.
Yeah, everything's sort of set in stone at this point, so to speak, and it's going to be like that day to day. So, of course, let's shift. Miami coming in here, the reputation that they've built over the last few years under Mike McDaniel, the explosive plays, the speed that they have when they're able to stay healthy. When you look at Lou Anarumo coming in here and taking over for the Colts defense, matchup-wise, schematically, it's going to be pretty tough for the defensive team to stop them, man.
Yes and no. I feel more comfortable with this defensive scheme, what we know about it so far, versus what the Colts had last year. Although the Colts did have the benefit of it being a Tua-less Dolphins offense last year. But Lou Anarumo, I mean, he's going to move things around, make things difficult and confusing for especially passing games. He's going to give you one look, and then on the next play, act like it's going to be that, but then something totally different. So you kind of have to do that against a passing game it's very much based on timing, but Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill can take the top off of any defense at any time. So that's going to be huge, I think, especially with as long as the pass rush is clicking. A guy like Tua gets the ball out of his hands really, really quick. Everything is very based on timing when it comes to their short game, especially getting the ball to Devin Achane out on the outside and everything. That pass rush has got to be clicking. I'm interested to see if Lou has any of the linemen drop back into coverage a little bit. That might muddy the waters, I think. Might be kind of a wise wrinkle to include in this game plan.
We talk about Miami's playmakers. The Colts have shown that they can have some explosive plays as well. I mean, you look at Alec Pierce is just the first guy that comes to mind who can blow the top off of any defense. So when you look at that, so say it happens to get into one of these, what do you call them, track meets, where if the Dolphins are hitting their big plays, do you feel comfortable with the Colts maybe being able to respond and getting back in ways like that to have some explosive plays on their own with Jones there under center?
I do, while this offense isn't necessarily built for shootouts, they do have some guys that can do that. I mean, obviously, Alec Pierce, we've seen him come up huge for them in the past, especially last year. I don't know how involved A.D. Mitchell will be because at the end of the day, he is the fourth receiver. But like a guy like Tyler Warren, if you get him out on the, going up the seam, you get him on these corner routes. Like we saw a little glimpse of it during the preseason. But it doesn't have to be a guy who's running with 4.2, 4.3 speed. It can be a guy like Tyler Warren, finding the soft spots in the zones and just getting through the creases and, having some zone beaters, I think, would be very good. That's where you have guys like Tyler Warren and Josh Downs.
Now, lastly here, I guess, we've been waiting for this for months on end now. The regular season is finally here. What are you looking forward to most come 1 o'clock on Sunday?
What does a Shane Stichen and Daniel Jones offense look like? Me and Dom, I think 2-3 weeks ago, were talking about this. Like, is this the most complete offensive arsenal that Stichen has had? And I think it is. So Jonathan Taylor, 1,400 yards last year despite missing 3 games. Where's the weak spot in the pass catching group? I don't know that there is one. I mean, you just spent a first rounder on Tyler Warren. You like Pittman and Pierce and Downs. I think the offensive line sticking up is gonna have to be key because Miami has got a really good pass rush. Their front seven is no joke. But is Shane gonna start proving himself right? Now, let's not be naive. Like, if it doesn't look good week 1, that's not the end of the world. It is week 1, and these guys have to get used to each other. But are we going to kind of get a glimpse into what it's going to look like throughout the season? I don't know how explosive it's going to be, but is it efficient? Do they maintain drives? Are they putting together 9-10 play drives and getting points out of them? I think that'll be big.
Consistency and orchestrating the offense. That's sort of what Shane Stichen has wanted to see from Daniel Jones, and I think he's clearly proven it up to this point now that he will be the lead man under center for the Colts, and they will be getting their season going. Sunday, 1 o'clock against the Miami Dolphins. We'll have all of your coverage leading up to it right here on air on Channel 13 as well as right here streaming on WTHR+. For Jake Arthur, I'm Eli Gehn. Have a good day.